Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon, and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! You mean I sung to you all and you didn't even hear it? Now I'm really disappointed. All right, tonight's show has been brought to you by technical difficulties. Technical difficulties, ruining everything since computers were invented a long time ago. Now, please tell me that you can hear me now. All right. Well, tonight's stream has been brought to you by technical difficulties because I forgot to change scenes in OBS, so the old animation played. I sung you all a song and you didn't hear it because I didn't realize I had the wrong audio source set because I'm in the wrong scene in OBS. And yeah, technical difficulties. But we are going to move along because that is all we can do. Well, anyways. And before we get started, I would like to welcome everyone in the chat before I completely forget, because I am apparently having a less than stellar evening already, and I haven't even started. But it looks like we have DJ Craze, Thomas Armstrong, Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack, Trina's Technobabble, Frank S., Adam McGee, Retrotech Chris, Joe's Computer Museum, Dave's Vintage Apple Tech, Eric's Edge, and Retrotechy. Yeah, isn't that? Yes, Adam McGee, yes. Every one of my streams does seem to be about technical difficulties, just usually not about the streaming technical difficulties, because also, you all might have noticed, it does seem like I think the stream started in the middle of my animation because OBS didn't connect the first time. But anyways, yes, this is all about technical difficulties. And I do apologize to everyone that gave me tips last week. And actually, everyone that gave me tips in December, because none of you all were listed on the animation because it played the wrong one. I'm sorry about that. I will have to somehow fix that before the end of the stream. At least fix the ending animation. So yes, I would like to thank all my channel supporters. You all really knocked it out of the park last week. You helped me buy some really cool goodies. some of which are actually on the table here. Hi, Dave. If I didn't say hi, I think I might have missed you. Anyways, yes, you all helped me buy some goodies. I do know I do still need a few things for DOScember. I did up my goal just a little bit because I bought an extra bonus item that I wasn't expecting to buy. So maybe if you like DOScember and like to help out, chip a couple bucks into the coffee and that'll help me buy coffee because I spent it on DOScember stuff. Anyways, I think I got 2 packages today. I thought I would kind of show off some of the things I did use the coffee money on. It wasn't coffee. So anyways, I bought a GoTech. Actually, this one is supposedly not working, but I have a feeling the person that was trying to use it didn't have it configured right. So anyways, yay. So I've got a spare GoTech. Well, okay. Oh, I just realized. Actually, no, I don't want to switch to that camera yet because my address is sitting on the table. Retro Techie, if I can't get it working and don't have something that needs the parts, you can have whatever's left. Just pay, you'll just have to pay whatever duties and customs and that your Canadian government decides to bestow upon technology. Also, it'll have to fit in a first-class envelope. And actually, Jeremy, interesting you mentioned Amiga. That's actually what the person that was selling this GoTech was trying to use it with, was an Amiga, and I honestly think they had it misconfigured. I could be wrong. It could be a dead GoTech. So all of which I have to say is be careful what you wish for, Retro Techie. Actually, that's a good question, Thomas. We'll take a look at it, and then I'll reveal what's in this other box, although some folks might be able to put 2 and 2 together and figure out that, based on the title of the stream, what might be in the other box. Or, well, maybe not necessarily the title, but the description. And you all in the chat, I would rather have an Eggo than the kind of waffles you all are talking about. Speaking of which, where's Steve? You all are invoking the something Steve did. I know Joe is having wonderful troubles with Amigas too. Ah, here we go. It is I believe it is a very, very new chip GoTech. I can't even read the text on it. That, yeah, so there we go. This is the GoTech. It looks like it is the newest chip. That thing is tiny. I hope that's compatible with... Oh, actually, I think I see the problem here. I feel like breaking out into a song. One of these things is not like the other. One of these things just doesn't belong. Can you guess which thing is the one that doesn't belong? I haven't sung this song in like forever. Look at that! Transistor. I suspect that's actually the reason why this GoTech doesn't work. Oh, yeah. Trina, it's a floppy drive emulator. So you plug this into a floppy controller and it emulates a floppy drive. But yeah, that's why this Gotek doesn't work. I think someone tried some crafty maneuvers, and I knew they'd removed the power connector. I think they've removed you know, I think there's a missing capacitor here. And I can tell that there's a missing transistor there. I think someone, I'm wondering if someone plugged the power in wrong. Connected 12 volts to 5 volt. Oh, that could be bad. That might mean this whole thing's, yeah. Okay, maybe I won't be resurrecting this. Darn, that might mean I have to make good on my threat to send it to Retro Techie. Missing transistor, missing capacitor, and all. Why is the power connector missing? I don't know. It's not a big problem that the power connector's missing, because floating around my workbench somewhere, I have a power connector I removed from a floppy drive. So that's not a big deal. I can put the power connector back on it and fix that. Yeah, I'm thinking this might be my 5-year project. Well, actually, as cheap as these are, if I won't spend 5 years trying to fix it. Yeah, this one might be a goner. I might have to make use of eBay's seller or buyer protection policy on this one, because while they did disclose the fact that it didn't work, and I did see that the power connector was removed, I think they still might have been just a little less than honest about what actually happened to this Gotek. I might actually be, luckily I only paid like, well, I'm not going to say what I paid for it, because actually looking at the condition of this, it might make me tear up. Well, when you add the shipping. Well, at least they charged me a reasonable shipping rate. Yeah. Oh. Anyways, the fun other box that I got today. Yeah, I'll get one, but I'll just get one that's already put together. The thing is, Retro Tech, Chris, well, okay, somewhere to my left, I actually have OLED screens. Well, okay, Trina, you are correct, Trina. It is possible that person bought it and flipped it without knowing what was wrong. I will at least give them the credit to that. But I'm also going to look at their description and see what they said. They did call it Gotek for Amiga, non-working. And I paid $10.60 for it, plus $5.45 shipping. I got this Gotek for an Amiga, or in an Amiga lot. I could not get it to work with my Amiga 500. I have since upgraded and moved on. The case is in excellent condition. If you can't get it to work, the case and perhaps other parts can be used. Okay, well, I guess maybe they got it in a lot. Maybe it was pre-exploded, but I don't know. I will... let's see here. Of course, the important thing is, what did they? Okay, they did sell it as is. So I know, couldn't get it to work. There's no power connector. I don't know. I will. I don't know. I might be the one. Yeah, I guess maybe I will try to fix it. Anyways, moving along. I don't need the GoTech tonight. I will have to look at the schematic for it and figure out what type of transistor that is, because I'm not going to assume it's like the other two. The main thing I wanted to do is wanted to try to prepare a list of things that I need to order from Mouser or some other component distributor. So it'll probably be Mouser because they seem to ship things promptly, and I'll probably get them in time for the next live stream. But I have a lot of 5 Pentium II processors. I bought these off eBay. Same place I buy everything else that I later regret buying. I made a best offer on it, and yeah, more. Hey, big bad biologist. Yeah, more 5-year projects. Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a logic board. Started off as an LC bulk buy for a 3-hour live stream. A 3-hour live stream. All right, Thomas, we'll see you later. I might have to write you a better version of that song for later, John. All right. So I made the offer I made on these processors that are untested was basically $5 a piece, plus shipping, and I'm not even going to say what the shipping was because it was expensive. So the nice thing about these Pentium II processors, which honestly probably will all work. Hey, old computer rebuilds. Welcome. So the good thing about these Pentium IIs is I suspect most of them are probably going to work. And that's just an educated guess based on the fact that well, actually just based on a guess. But so let me take these out of the case. Nice thing is they all have heat sinks on them. Oh, hey, 1-Bit Fever Dreams. Adam, I don't blame you for fixing stuff while I'm fixing stuff. I would be probably working on something Apple, but it is DOScember, so I'm going with the theme of the month this month. At least until Dave's stream. I've got something to try for Dave's stream. Especially if I can get the video out that I'm trying to work on before then, but even if I don't, I'm just probably going to work on it anyways because it's been long enough. So I'm going to try a new format for the video, and hopefully it will be appreciated. And I can also say that my camera is stupid. And that I very much would like Santa to bring me a camera that records in 4K video and does not just stop recording once it's been recording video for like 20 or 30 minutes. I know there's camera brands out there that will just keep on recording video until the sensor overheats. But I digress. Luckily, the camera stopped. I did not notice when the camera stopped recording, but luckily I did see that it caught enough of what I was saying that it's fine. I probably would have cut out the end of it anyways. So, Retro Techie's eating cake. Well, I would ask you to send me a piece of that cake, but it would probably be spoiled by the time it got here, assuming U.S. Customs didn't eat it to make sure it was good and then keep eating it because it was good. Use a cell phone. You know, I don't have a cell phone. Well, actually, I probably do have a cell phone that's got a good enough camera. I don't like taking it out of its case. Doc, welcome. Or at least I think that's you. That 30-minute thing is a result of tax laws. Yeah. That would not surprise me at all. Trina, these processors were listed as unknown functionality, as is. Buyer beware. So I have, let me sort these out. Okay, so I would like to maybe get, I think I have just about all of the Pentium IIs represented here, or at least all the ones that matter, save one. Yeah, Doc. Game Doc 04. Welcome. Yes, you caught me streaming. Maybe YouTube actually gave you a notification. Anyways, so I have two 266 megahertz Pentium IIs. I've got a 300 megahertz. I've got a 350, and I have a 400. I do know there was a 233 megahertz, but I don't really care about that one because that was like the low tier. I wouldn't mind having a 450 megahertz because speed. I mean, I want to go fast. Who doesn't want to go fast? Yeah. All right. You can count on the doc to know things. Camcorders get hit with higher import fees than still image cameras. The definition of a camcorder is something that can record for more than 30 minutes. Our world is stupid at times, yes. And yes, John, Pentium II processors were hard to kill. That is why I was willing to take a chance on a lot. Also, I think even when I add shipping, I still paid less for these than if I was buying them one at a time. Plus, I figured that, well, hopefully at least one works. The one on the bottom left, yeah, that is quite the heat sink for for the 266 megahertz. Yes, the Pentium II did come in a 450 megahertz. I think it also did come in a 333. Let me check that. But I wasn't. I'm not trying to collect them all. It's just I wouldn't mind having the fastest one, but I don't necessarily need the slowest one either. Let me see. It came in for the desktop versions for the 66 megahertz front side bus. It came in 230. Oh no, there wasn't a 233. I thought there was. That's right. So it came in 266. 300 and 333 for the 66 megahertz front side bus. So that's going to be these ones here. And then for the 100 megahertz front side bus, it was 350, 400, and 450. So it looks like I don't have the 333 or the 450, so I don't have the top tier in each category. No, Trina, I am referring to Alexander as the doc, as in he is the Game Doc 04 on Twitch. And he prefers to be called Doc. Also, it's shorter than Alexander. So, yeah, he plays games and knows things. And when he's available and YouTube sends him a notification, he joins us in the chat. So, anyways, so I got some Pentium IIs. For tonight's testing, YouTube's being mean. So, yep. And let's see here. So, for the other part of this project, I have probably what is an extremely, not really that spectacular motherboard, but at least I did find a review on a NAND Tech. So I know it's not like a complete snoozer, but it really wasn't that spectacular. Anyways, this is an FSC VB601 ATX motherboard. It's really not that spectacular. It hopefully will work. I believe this one does feature the soft config of the press, or maybe it doesn't. No, how quaint. There's actually dip switches, so I'll have to change dip switches for these. That's right. This one doesn't have the soft config. I think that was one of the things Anantech was kind of complaining about. It's a rather blah motherboard. However, it had two crucial things going for it. Well, maybe three. One was the price. I don't remember what I paid for it, but the price was decent. Two, I think when I worked at the computer shop in high school, I want to say this might have been the Pentium II motherboard we bought because it was budget. And three, and probably the most importantly, this header right here on the board, because this is the feature I was looking for. On this board, it is the SB Link connector, and it will pair nicely with this sound card, hopefully. Now, if you were watching Dave's Vintage Apple Tech on Sunday, and you saw me working on a video or sound card, and you wondered what in the world I was doing, and I think I was trying to tell everyone what I was doing, and I realized I was muted. Yeah. Yes, this is very, very retro. So, this is an A-Open Cobra sound card. It's got the Yamaha AW744L2 sound chip on it. And the nice thing about this sound chip is that it actually basically has a built-in OPL3 sound chip in it, in the sound chip. And also, just as importantly, and what I was doing on Dave's stream, is it had the SB Link, or actually on this board, they call it PC-PCI. On the motherboard, it's SB Link, but they're one and the same. I just had to populate the header and put the two, I think they might be pull-up resistors. I had to put those on the board. Anyways, this sound card should now be able to connect to this header, and that should allow this PCI sound card to be used by DOS games as if it were a sound blaster. And because this chip here basically has an integrated OPL3 for when it does Sound Blaster compatibility mode, it is supposed to sound just like it was a Sound Blaster. Now, of course, that does count on this sound card even working, because I really had no way to test it. And Trina, supposedly, this is one of the reasons why most PCI sound cards didn't work under DOS, is because the PCI bus doesn't have the signals that are on this header. So yeah, fingers crossed, I will actually, probably 20 plus years after this feature was released, probably 20 plus years after it kind of went the way of the dodo bird when people decided to stop playing DOS games. Hopefully we'll be able to actually see, because I remember selling the computers, and now it wasn't just Pentium II motherboards. I remember these on Super 7 motherboards too, especially the ATX ones where they started to have fewer and fewer ISA slots and more PCI slots and ISA sound cards. It was kind of in that transition period. So it just so happened that the first board I found at the right price was a Pentium II board that had this header. So fingers crossed, I'm going to get this to work. I've never seen it work before. I may not get to see it work now. And quite honestly, given all the other ways you can play DOS games, and potentially how poorly it might actually work, we may not want to ever see it work again. But it could be really cool. Now, the one thing is, though, is I don't have everything I need to actually set this up as a computer. So yeah, that's probably the biggest disappointment here. I don't even know if this motherboard is going to work, and if it does work, I really don't know how well it's going to work. I'm not even sure that I won't blow a tantalum capacitor. So the first thing I need to do is actually make sure that there's nothing shorted on this motherboard, because the last thing I want to do is power this up if there's a short on the board. I'm also going to take a really good look at these capacitors, because I am really suspicious about these capacitors. I am also really suspicious of Retro Techie claiming he has never heard of DOS. But then again, who knows? What are you missing? All right, Trina, I am... what am I missing? Okay. I have a hard drive that I can put on this system if it works, but it's currently installed in another computer. It's not being used, but it's installed in the other computer because I didn't have a place to store it where it was safe. And I don't really want to pull that out of the computer tonight. Unless I get really, really lucky and this thing like works really great. And yes, Retro Techie is, yes, he's just one of those young whippersnappers. At least, yeah, so I think I got a hard drive, although I'll probably get something solid state. I don't have an optical drive to be able to install Windows. Well, actually, I do. No, I don't. Because I need a DVD-ROM drive to install the Windows that I have. That's all I'm going to say. I'm sure some of you out there probably know exactly what form the Windows install is in by the fact that I said DVD drive. I promise I'm doing this for testing purposes. Therefore, I think I might be covered by the license agreement. I don't really want to pull the optical drive out of one of my Power Macs. I guess if I really needed to, I could to install Windows, but I'd have to pull the hard drive out. And really, I want to get an AGP video card that's actually compatible, because for tonight's testing, I am going to do something probably totally controversial. I'm sure that the YouTube's algorithm will probably explode over what I'm going to do. So I've got this wonderful Pentium II system. I have this stick of RAM that I hope is compatible. It came out of an iMac G4, but it is PC 133 RAM, so it should run at slower speeds. I have this wonderful AGP slot that I could put a video card in, but I don't have a compatible video card. I have these wonderful PCI slots that I could put a video card in that would be faster, not as fast as AGP. It'd be a nice speed, though. I don't think I've got a PCI video card. Oh, wait, maybe I do. Let me check one of my bins. I might have forgotten about one. But actually, I was going to try it with this wonderful video card. Look at this. This is the Trident TVGA 9000i-3 with a whopping upgraded amount of memory on the industry standard architecture. 8 bits are all you need. Joe will probably be sending me an invoice in the mail later for saying that. I'm going to adopt a 4090 to PCI. Hey Garth, welcome. Now, actually, it just dawned on me. I might actually have a PCI video card that I forgot about. So maybe I'll give it a try too. But yes, I really was thinking of completely bottlenecking this wonderful Pentium II with a 8-bit ISA video card because it will work. It should work. Oh, okay. We won't have to suffer with that all night because I just realized. Oh, wait a minute. Wait just a minute. What do I have in this bin here? I just found a bin that's got more stuff in it than I thought it did. Okay, let's see what I got here. No hard drives, though, but I forgot until just now that I actually have a PCI video card. It's untested. It actually would be, well, I guess from around the same time. Actually, maybe not. Who remembers Number 9 Computer Corp? I bet the doc does. Oh, no, actually, this is older than I thought it was. This is the Number 9 Ticket to Ride. Number 9 GXE 64 Pro. PCI local bus. I mean, look at all these. This is just hyping it up here on the back. Made in USA. Excellence in PC graphics. I mean, these were the bomb back then. Everyone wanted Number 9. Don't know if they were the best, but they sure had some of the best advertisements that made you want these. The S3 Vision 964 graphics chip and some amount of RAM with more sockets for more RAM. And Adam's saying, this video card's too modern for me. Anyways, I don't think I've been able to test this video card, but I'll put this in too. We'll see if this works. But just look at this video card. I mean, people went crazy for Number 9, or at least I think they did back then. Yeah. Also, I realized I have RAM in this bin that I didn't think I had. So let me see if any of it is, oh, and some of it is DIMMs. Okay. Yep. So that is memory for an IBM. 72-pin Sims. Can't use that tonight. Ooh, what do I have here? I think someone sent me a whole bunch of DIMMs at one point a long time ago. Here we go. Oh, Doc's wondering what he would do with all these empty sockets. All right, so let's see here. That's, I think that's 4 megabytes. No, that's 16 megabytes. Ooh, it's single-sided. That's so going in the LC475, if it works. Let's see, it's another, oh, that one might also, no, that's parity. Wait a minute, are these, no, that's a parity module. Okay, I'll hold that for something that needs parity. There's the matching parity module. Ooh, there we go. Yay, instant upgrade for the LC475. Stay tuned, I'll probably do a short on the upgrade later because I got something else for it. Videos on the LC475 are waiting for Marcintosh, but I've got a couple more short ideas to tide people over until then. I've got some other 72-pin sims of, I don't know quantities, but they're all single-sided, so I'll put these in the pile of RAM to maybe put a little more in the LC475, but actually this is what caught my eye in the bag. So let's see here. 256 megabytes, PC100. 256 megabytes, PC100. Ah, you know, I know what these are from. And I got 4 of them. Perfect. I think I bought a Mac on eBay. And I think it had this RAM in it. Now this is parity. I don't think this board does parity. It should be fine. Ding, ding, ding. I have a gigabyte of RAM for this motherboard. All right. If it works. But I think this RAM does work. I think I pulled it out of a Power Mac G4 that I bought off eBay to upgrade it to 2 gigabytes. So I think that's where this came from. And luckily I kept it because that's what we do. We don't hoard our spare parts. We keep them because we might be able to use them in the future. Yes, significant others walking past this live stream that you have on speakers are rolling their eyes right now. Sure, right. You'll use it in the future, huh? Yeah, that Justin doesn't know anything. What's he talking about? Yeah, let's see. I think yeah, Eric, I was waiting for brights and all I got was dims. Okay, and I got a few more here. Yeah, I think the Pentium II can go up to a gigabyte. I think. Or I hope it can. Well, we'll see. If it doesn't like that, then I got four more dims here. Okay, no, it's not gonna like that one because that's that's DDR2. So nope, and that's DDR2. So that's a no. Oh, these are the DDR2. I think these are ones I pulled out of another Power Mac G4 that I bought. Yeah. Yeah, that's good one, Doc. Yeah, Michelle would prefer I spend all my time doing this stuff, less likely to get injured. Yeah. Yeah, seriously. Let Michelle know I said hi. I don't have a working optical drive, Trina. Oh, Google says 4 gigabyte limit for the Pentium II. Yeah. Wow, that's more than I thought. We'll go with 1 gigabyte because I suspect the operating system I'll go with for this is probably going to have a lower ceiling than the Pentium II. Because if this works, I'll probably be going with, let's see, to use the PC-PCI, Sound Blaster Link, whatever you call it. I think I'm about to go with like Windows 98 2nd edition. Oh, Windows 98 gets wonky over 256 megs. Okay, well. Whoa, RetroTech Chris. Let me clarify. I do have a working optical drive. I do not have a DVD drive that I can spare to install Windows because of how I'm going to install Windows. I do not have Windows. I do not think I have a Windows install, although I will go upstairs and check. I may. I do not think I have a Windows installer on a pressed CD. And I don't feel like pulling a DVD drive out of a Power Mac G4. And actually, the one that I pull it out of, I actually don't know if the DVD drive works. Yes, Chris, I have unboxed the items you sent me. I have not actually installed them yet, but I have unboxed them. I'm working on the video. And actually, I'll be working on the video where I install the CD drive, which I don't know why I'm being secretive because you posted it on Twitter. If anyone follows you on Twitter, they'll know you sent me a CD drive. But I guess for anyone watching that doesn't realize why I will need Windows on a pressed CD, the CD drive Chris sent me, it doesn't like burned CDs. Oh, yeah, Doc. The problem is the CD drive I have doesn't like burned CDs, so I'll need to go find a pressed Windows CD. I may actually have one if I go look. I just didn't have a chance to look before I started the stream because I was trying to update the animations that didn't play because technical difficulties. All right, enough babbling. Let me pull up the ATX pinout because I'm going to check for shorts first. Yeah, Trina, I will. I'll have to download that. I will have to. I'll have to. When I get a DVD drive that I can, I'll have to swipe a DVD drive from something to use it, only because it'll need to be something that likes recorded CDs. Anyways, oh, ATX. Yeah, I spent my coffee tips on a few things, and a DVD drive wasn't one of them. Partially because I forgot, but partially because I was I had a few higher priorities for things. I needed Pentium II processors for this board. I needed a 486 processor for something. I bought some 4 megabyte SIMs for the 386 board that may or may not ever work again, but that's not the only 386 board I have. So, and I bought a few games just as a teaser. And yes, Chris, I would love a DVD drive. Oh, awesome. Okay, looks like I'll have a DVD drive. Thank you, Chris. I did manage to get a 486 CPU. Actually, I bought 2 486 CPUs for the 486 motherboard, and I did that because I'm crazy. Also, because I guess I given the fact that December's half over, I didn't want to hedge my bets on just one. So I'm just double checking that there's no shorts. Awesome, Chris. Okay, so it looks like the 3.3 volt rail is not shorted. Let's see here. Okay, the negative 12 volt is fine. Let's see, that should be 5 volts right there. Okay, that looks fine. let's see, I need, if I jump 2 more pins over, that should be another 5 volts right there. And then if I jump 2 more over, that's going to be power good, which probably also shouldn't be shorted. No, it's not. And then that should be 5 volts standby. And why in the world? Oh, I'm looking at the full pinout. Ah, awesome. That sounds like it'll work. So, excellent. And, oh, no, that is 12 volts. Wait, no, that's 12 volts. All right, that's in the mega ohms. Okay, so that should be another 5 volts. That should be another 5 volts. Okay. This should be negative 5 volts. And then, let's see, there's going to be, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's see, I miscounted. Okay, so that's 5 volts. Oh, 5 volts, 5 volts, negative. Okay, there were 3 5 volts, and then a negative 5 volts. And then should be 3 grounds. Hold on, that looks weird. Although maybe the grounds may not be tied together. That's weird. And then this should be power supply on. And wait a minute. Okay, I'm miscounting that. I'm trying to look at a pinout that is sideways and a connector that's not sideways. So you know how we solve this problem of brain doesn't want to rotate to match the picture? Well, we rotate the board to match the picture. There we go. Now, I'm also going to, okay, my probes are zeroed. Let's try this again. So, all right, this is pin 1. Pin 1, 2, 3. So pin 3 should be a ground pin. Oh, I just realized. I think it's marked on the board. Wait a minute. This is weird. Hold on. I am noticing a discrepancy. 3.3. 3. Hold on. You almost could, Chris. You almost could. That my house is a disaster zone. You know, if we plan it, actually that would be cool if we could do a collab, but I don't know if I got enough time this month. Oh, I'm already drowning in video ideas as it is. So maybe, Chris, maybe next year we can find a time and we could do a collab. It won't be for DOScember, but it'll be PC related. We really should do that sometime. And maybe I could, okay, here we go. Here's a picture from the EEV blog. So maybe this will actually match what I'm seeing. Because I found a picture and something was wrong. Okay, so this is supposed to be a ground. This is also supposed to be a ground. But yet I'm measuring like a mega ohm. That doesn't seem right. Oh, you know why this doesn't seem right? It's because I'm looking at the pinout from the power connector coming from the power supply's point of view. Ha ha! I need a picture of the pinout from the motherboard's point of view. Ha ha! That's why this is not. That's why I'm measuring high resistances where there shouldn't be. I need a picture from a different perspective. Okay, hold please while I try to find a picture of a pinout from the motherboard's point of view, because my brain does not feel like trying to rotate the my brain doesn't feel like trying to rotate the picture mentally. Although, if I don't find one quickly, I'll try to mentally rotate it. Yes, if you're measuring resistances and nothing seems right, double check the perspective of the pinout that you found. All right, here we go. It also explains why the legends on the motherboard didn't seem like they were matching the the legends on the board did not seem like they were matching the legends on the picture I found. All right. So now I found a pinout from the system board's point of view, and I've rotated the system board to the perspective of the picture I have. And that means, let's see here, that ground. So this one, so that should be a ground. And let me double check. So that should also be a ground. There we go. That's much better. Well, Trina, the worst that could happen is I blow a capacitor. But this is the only Pentium II motherboard I have for DOScember. So I just want to take a double check. Okay, so that's power supply 1. Okay, that should be a ground. Yep, all right, this is actually matching. That should be a ground. And that should be a ground. So this should be -5 volts. Yep, definitely no short there. That should be 5 volts. Okay, that looks right. That should be 5 volts. That should be 12 volts. All right. That should be, I think that's 5 volts standby. Okay. This is power okay. Yep, that looks good. That's a ground. That's a 5 volts. That's a ground. That is a 5 volts. Uh-oh. I'll double check things in a moment. Should be a ground. It should be 3.3 volts. And that should be 3.3 volts. All right. So it looks like we're good. My audio stopped on the right side. Well, I don't think it should have, because I'm using a USB connection, so that would be weird. Unfortunately, if the audio did stop on the right side, I'm not sure what to do about it, because I mean, I think I think my microphone should just be one channel to both sides. I don't know. Okay. So looks like the board is not shorted. I am going to pull up the manual for this board. Not that it... Oh, here we go. I'm also going to pull up the AnandTech review, even though it wasn't that great of a review, but that'll remind me why I picked this one. Here we go. Oh, I'm looking for the manual, as I think there's a few other jumpers other than the dip switches that are documented, but I don't... Oh, there we go. I found it. The RetroWeb has it. So it's not going to be the end of the world. So anyways, AnandTech reviewed this board in a review that they did May 26th, 1998. So 24 and a half years ago, they did a review of Intel BX motherboards for Pentium II. And they said... Yep, they did say that this motherboard took a step back because you had to set dip switches for setting the processor, which actually is a step back from the previous generation motherboards where apparently they had soft configuration. Apparently this was it performed above other motherboards in its class, but I think that's only like a slightly better performance than others, because they said a lot of the Intel BX chipset motherboards performed the same. So I'm getting the impression it was a little better than its peers, but it's not going to be something you're probably going to notice easily. Unfortunately, they did say the bad was you had no bus speeds higher than 100 megahertz, so this was not a board you'd buy for overclocking. That's fine. I'll leave overclocking to Action Retro Sean. Yeah, they said they wished it was jumperless. They did complain how the floppy drive connector did not have a shroud on it like the IDE connectors. They actually were appreciative of this because apparently a lot of motherboards at the time weren't putting shrouds on the connectors. So they thought this was a nice touch, but shame on you, FSE, for not putting it here too. Well, I guess a common feature at the time, but not, I guess, universal. Yeah, easy to bend the floppy drive connectors because there's no shroud on it. And apparently this motherboard doesn't take advantage of the serial presence detect. So you have to set the cast latency yourself in the BIOS. Okay. So, I mean, nothing in terms of... Nothing in terms of the fact that I'm going to have trouble with this. Really, I guess, middle of the road motherboard, no overclocking features, no soft configuration, but it is, I mean, other than that, I mean, they liked the board. I think they gave it like an A- rating on their review of all the motherboards. So I was like, that's a good board. I probably won't have... Assuming that it hasn't degraded due to age, I can probably get it working. So, but that does mean I'm going to have to change jumper dip switches. So first, I am curious. Let's see if we can figure out what processor the previous owner had in it. And if it's a processor I have in this collection over here, we'll start with that version. So the dip switches are on, off, 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 off. So on. So on, off, off is either going to be 450 megahertz or 300 megahertz. But that probably means I need to find the silkscreen on this that explains which jumper is 66 front side bus and which is 100. And that is eluding me where that is silkscreened on the board. Switch 5 is clear CMOS. Switch 6 is clear password. And there's, oh, okay, maybe the front side bus is, oh, okay. I guess that's not, I guess that's configured by the processor when you insert the processor. Okay. Because I don't see a dip switch for that. Let me double check the manual. So actually, I think I'm going to have to I'm going to have to pick a different processor type because those are the two I don't have. So whoever had this motherboard before I bought it had a need for speed because they were using the top tier. I bet they had a Pentium II 450 in it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Oh. 1, 2, keyboard and mouse, power on feature, CPU. Number 4. Where is number 4? Number 4. Oh, okay. That sure enough. Okay. Apparently that's set by the processor. Okay. So anyways, let me just change this to, I guess, 266 and how about we'll just start with the on, off, on, off, on. So we'll start. Okay, here we go. So anyways, let's see, that's a 350. So I'm going to start with the 266 megahertzes, and I'm going to work my way up. So, all right. Guess it's time for a gratuitous Pentium II. Wait a minute. I don't know. Why are these loose? I thought these were... Hold on. First, let me, screw these back down, because I don't think they're supposed to be this loose. Oh, that's right. They aren't supposed to be this loose. The motherboard shipped with this disassembled. So it could fit in a flat rate envelope. There we go. Okay, I may have to remove this, though, because I don't know that these heat sinks are going to go in the slot with it there, although they might. Okay, so I'm going to start with the 266s. And to install the Pentium 2, there we go. And I have installed the Pentium 2. No mess, no fuss. Didn't even have to pull the thermal compound out, although quite possible these processors might need repasted, but not going to do that now. Because really, I don't know how easy it is to disassemble the Pentium 2 to do that. All right. And we'll plug the power supply in. Well, that's... Ooh, that's... That's a problem. So this power supply that I grabbed has a 24-pin connector on it, not a 20+4-pin connector on it. I did not realize that when I grabbed it, because it It was the easy to grab ATX power supply because it wasn't installed in anything. Well, that's not good. All right, I guess I'm going to have to go upstairs and see if I can't remember if I have another ATX power supply or not. I can tell you what I don't have. I do not have an ATX. Oh wait a minute. Adam, I can't because of the other problem. The coil here is blocking me from doing that because that's the way it needs to insert right there. That coil is in the way. Okay, let's see if I have something that can help. I just remembered I do have an ATX extension cable, but I don't think you can separate the +4 on it either. Although I might be willing to cut it so that I can actually do the thing tonight. Although it'd be my luck if I do that, then it won't work for a SE extension. All right, let me go upstairs. I've got a Mac SE logic board because this is my extension cable I use to plug into extend SE power. I just want to make sure that if I do cut the extra 4 pins off so I can plug this in this motherboard, I want to make sure that I don't ruin the chance of me being able to use this with an SE logic board. So I will be right back. Barring that, I'll go see if I can find another ATX power supply because I think I have one around here somewhere. Maybe. All right. Good news is I actually have another ATX power supply. Bad news is it's in a case. I guess, though, the thing is I was going to have to remove it from the case at some point anyways. All right. Although, Trina, that power supply you linked is very tempting. That would be a much more sensible power supply to put into a system like this. I mean, I don't know what the current exchange rate is, but $50 Canadian total seems like a good deal. Or assuming it was calculating shipping to the States. Anyways, we will, let me get this power supply out of here, and luckily it has I can separate the plugs. Hey, K-Mac Vintage, welcome. I am, trying to extract the power supply here. Let's see here. So I have... Oh, you know, I forgot to go check the install discs that I have to see if if by chance any of them were actually CDs, so I'll have to go back upstairs at some point. It is possible that the Windows 98-ish era ones are CDs and not DVDs. Oh, wow, $36.68 US with shipping. That's actually a really good price for a vintage era ATX power supply. So maybe maybe I might earn a few coffee tips and to and I'll just, use them to buy me a vintage power supply for the Pentium II build. But, all right, I think I have extracted the... Oh, no, I have not extracted the power supply. Oh, no. How in the world? Oh. Aha. You have to remove the 4 screws I didn't really want to remove. So, anyways, yeah, this is not the case I'm using for the Pentium II build. I don't like this case. The only reason I have this case is because I bought a whole computer in 2020 to get a graphics card. Well, that's actually probably the most substantial part of it. I ended up using... Oh, and I guess I did use the processor that was in it too. I didn't like the motherboard that was in it. Oh, well, there's the remote for the RGB. I have no idea why in the world that was, Wait a minute, why was that in the case? okay, I think this computer came with 2 RGB remotes because I think there was one in the bag of accessories and then one just floating around in the bottom of the case here behind the power supply. Great build quality, guys. All right. Oh, well, I guess the power supply is not completely awful. It's not a brand I would buy, but at least it is an 80 plus gold power supply, so I guess at least I'll be efficient. I will be, well, actually, it's really overkill because as much current as a Pentium II will draw, I think you're outside the range of that it has to be meet its certification rating. So it's way overkill. I don't, for a 600 watt power supply, I don't remember where the how much. I think that when you're drawing less than 20% or something like that, then they don't rate the efficiency. And with a Pentium II, I'm not hitting 20% with a Pentium II, so I'm not even going to hook a meter up. But I found the second the RGB remote for the case that has the stupidest RGB implementation. But anyways, all right. Pentium II graphics that I don't know if they work. 8-bit graphics that I do know work. I think I'm going to start with 8-bit graphics that I know work. Then I'll work my way up to the graphics card that I don't know if it works or not. We'll slowly change variables. Since I don't know if the motherboard works, let me at least make sure that I'm confident the video card works by picking this one. All right, I just need to find the tool that I use to remove the standoffs, because otherwise I got to put a box under this motherboard so that the video card will go in. But seeing as I have misplaced the tool that I'm looking for, fine. There we go. It's a motherboard prop, patent pending. All right, 8 bits are all you need. I mean, it's a VGA card. I'm fairly certain that it should still work. Is my stream bouncing? Oh. I am having... Wow. I'm having internet trouble. No, I think it's me. Hold on. Let me see if I can't do something. Seems better now. Mac! Mac 84, Steve, Eep! Okay. Let me know if it's still not working because YouTube Studio is still showing me a warning, and I think I'm bouncing again because OBS just went. I think Comcast is probably to blame. So theoretically, I can stop streaming, change my bitrate, and start streaming again, and it should just auto-magically work. I think. Be nice if one of the pro streamers in the, or maybe I can change the bitrate setting on the fly. All right, I'm gonna okay. Okay, I hoping that might help a little because OBS is still quite angry. Yeah, it's probably Comcast. I just lowered the bit rate that I told OBS to send. So, well, I'm going to drive on. Well, hopefully it resolves itself. If it gets too bad, I'll try. Unfortunately, I think I left my cell phone upstairs, so I can't easily check Comcast's app to see if they're admitting to any service issues, which they usually don't admit to them. But yeah, turn the crank faster. Yeah, oh, yeah, it's probably me. I'm did I really leave my phone upstairs? Yes, I did. Okay, let me see what I can do. I'm going to go to a be right back, and so I can go grab my phone and see if Comcast is admitting to any service issues. If they are admitting to service issues, then I don't know what I can do. If they're not, then I'll see if I can't maybe stop and restart the stream. So please bear with me. Let me see if I can fix some of these technical difficulties. All right. It looks like maybe things have settled out. Comcast isn't admitting to any more issues. So, yeah. Well, I had to go find my phone. It was all the way upstairs. Apparently, I set it down when I turned on two-factor authentication on Twitter and didn't put it back in my pocket. So, there. I did a thing. And then I put my phone down. And then I went to go finish everything I needed to do to start streaming. All right. Well, I may up the bitrate back up and because I did lower the bitrate. Oh, okay. Well, at least YouTube, the YouTube studio is not complaining anymore. So, yay. Actually, I think I am going to go bump that bitrate back up and because I like quality streams. Whatever was going wrong seems to have resolved itself. All right. So I got the motherboard. I got the video card. Video card's plugged into the scaler. Scaler is set to VGA1. Power is plugged in. Power supply is turned on. At least I think it's turned on. Possible I just turned it off. I will put on safety glasses just in case. And then I'm going to see if I can figure out, let's see, I think this is the power switch. Well, I saw the fan kick on the power supply. And that's a good sign. Okay, I don't have the remote control down here to try to adjust the picture because it is cutting it off, but... and maybe I might remove some of this memory so that the memory test doesn't take a long time, but let's see if it likes a gigabyte of RAM. The other thing is, while that counts up to see what it may or may not like, let me see if I can find the USB keyboard that I know is floating around here somewhere. Well, okay, it's not the keyboard I'm looking for, but it is a USB keyboard. That I took the batteries out of course. Oh, there we go. I see the USB keyboard I was looking for. Here it is. Under things, of course. Of course, the thing is, I don't know if this motherboard will like a USB keyboard. I mean, it is Pentium II era, so maybe USB had been around long enough that it'll... Don't worry. The sounds of things falling off the desk that you hear so far have been nothing of importance. Just my box of clean toothpicks that I use for things. Wow, we're still counting RAM. Wonderful. There we go. 1048576. Yeah. Well, it's a 266 megahertz Pentium II. And I don't know, it doesn't like something. There we go. Suggested cast latency is 2. There's nothing on the IDE bus. Floppy disks fail. CMOS check some error. Defaults loaded. All right. Do I feel lucky? It works. All right. Good night, Trina. Thanks for joining us. All right. Well, I'm not going to set the clock because the CMOS battery's dead, and I have to see if I've got one. Let's see, BIOS features. Quick power on self-test is enabled. All right, well, let's see here. Chipset features. Fast latency time. Oh, actually, wait a minute. I need to put a battery in this before it'll matter if setting anything. Okay. Yeah, Doc, it does not surprise me that you use that number often. Does not surprise me at all. Okay. Looks like I'm going to need to put CR2032s in my subscribe and save order for the month. So it looks like I have used all of the ones I have. Okay, so CPU works. This memory seems to work, but let's save ourselves the trouble. I will pop 3 of those out. Also, let's try the other. Oh yeah, actually, Tractor Supply is a good place to get stuff. Actually, you know, I might actually be that way where the Tractor Supply is tomorrow. If Food Lion's out of deli pizzas tomorrow, I might have to resort to Walmart and see if they have a deli pizza. I want one of the take and bake ones. Tractor Supply is so close to Walmart that I might just stop there for CR2032s. Because they usually have a good price on things like that. Oh no, I just realized the CPU, the clips are broken on it, so I may have a little trouble getting this out. Ron, welcome. I do not blame you at all for buying pants at Tractor Supply. They have good stuff there. I mean, you can even pick up chicks at Tractor Supply. Ba-doom, boom. I'll be here all night. Okay. Wow. Okay. I think we have a dead one. Actually, Ron, I am actually impressed at a lot of what Tractor Supply manages to fit in such a small store. I mean, I've even gone there for their hardware section, like the nuts and bolts and whatnot, when I didn't feel like going in Lowe's. I mean, because Tractor Supply still has all the same, or most of the same Hillman bins that Lowe's does. I mean, I don't think Tractor Supply has all the furniture, like the miscellaneous furniture part bins, but I got everything else. Ah! Okay, so I'm trying to get this CPU out because I think this CPU is dead. And even if it's not dead, the clips are broken, so I'm probably not going to try to put it back in because I'm having trouble getting it out. I wish if I'd noticed that before I'd put it in, I probably would have skipped it. I mean, I like the shape of the heatsink, though. Come on. There we go. There's one side. And maybe now I've got it. Ah. Okay. Yes. Would not recommend inserting the CPU. There we go. If the tabs are, I didn't realize the tabs were broken, which is normally what you use to remove it. Well, to be fair, Doc, I think I set myself up for that one. Is it fixed yet? Well, I did get the first processor to boot. The second processor does seem to be a little on the dead side, though. Let me just double check that there's not something SL2HE. So it is a EX266. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, well, I'll remove those guides for test. You're right, Adam. Those just get annoying for testing. Yeah, I can remove that too. If I can remember how to do it. Okay, there's that. Are these just plastic clips that... So let me see. I don't... Plastic clips, yeah. Trying to remember how they... Just tension fit on there, yeah. Well, I don't think it's actually blocking anything I've inserted so far. And I'm having trouble seeing exactly how it removes, so unless it actually comes into contact with something, I'm just gonna leave it there. I am gonna try that 266 once more, just in case maybe it wasn't actually fully seated. All right. It is just touching the bottom of that retainer. I think it's fine, though. I don't think... It felt like it... Yeah. You Adam had a Pentium II, but a snail stole it. Yeah. These... the Pentium II is the one that Apple made fun of with the Intel dancing... the people in the bunny suits, isn't it? Okay, sure enough, this Pentium II is dead. Which is surprising. I thought it was pretty hard to kill these. I mean, I know not impossible, but although given how wrecked the clips are on it, someone might have yanked it out in frustration. So I guess if I was going to vote on one that was dead, I guess maybe that would have been my guess. Okay, so I got one working and one dead one. But those are the two 266 megahertz ones that I have. So 350 and 4. So 300, the 300 megahertz one is also 66 megahertz frontside bus. So it is on, off, off, on, off, off. Okay, 300 megahertz. Oh, Pentium 3s were really nice. I mean, as quickly as the Pentium 3s came out after the Pentium II. All right. Well, that one appears to be dead too. I'll come back to these ones that appeared to be dead and give them a second go. I may try contact cleaner. So let me try the one that was working just to make sure I haven't done on, off, on. All right, I'm gonna put the working one back in just to make sure that I haven't done something stupid. All right. So the FSB settings are apparently set by the processor because there's no so the 266, which is the one I have in now, it's a 66 megahertz frontside bus and set to a 4x multiplier. And on this motherboard, you set the 4x multiplier with the 4 dip switches on, off, on. So the 300 megahertz is also a 66 megahertz frontside bus processor, which actually maybe it is set there. Although I think if it is set here, it is probably defaulting to 66 megahertz. I think the BIOS said I could set that to 2. Oh, actually I could turn that on. I've got ECC RAM in here. Don't see that setting here. BIOS features. Yeah, it looks like it's defaulting to 66, so I'm fine here. If I underclock them, I'll go back and fix it later. Okay. Let's see what it, if this RAM will run at cast 2. It should. Actually, it's labeled, it is labeled cast 2 on it. Yeah. I'll try one of the 100 megahertz front side bus ones because actually that's the other two I have, and I'll see if let's see what they do when I put them in. Yeah, this motherboard doesn't have CPU soft. The AnandTech review that I found on it, that was actually one of the things they were complaining about, is that FIC removed that feature, even though they had it in their previous generation motherboards. But yeah, underclocking, it's fine. I'm just, right now, I just want to see, are the CPUs dead or alive? And this one here is alive. Not going to boot, but it's alive. Oh yeah, escaped. Actually, I think it's. I think at the moment it's probably trying to boot, and there's no boot device. Anyways, okay. So this CPU actually works. Slower RAM test than the SE30, yeah. Well, I also have a bit more RAM than the SE30, so there is that. Okay, so I have a 350 megahertz, so that's 100 megahertz frontside bus, and that one is jumper's 3.5 ratio, on, off. So the complete opposite settings from what I just had it at. I like the heatsink that's on it. It's a cool, I'm presuming these were pulled out of pre-built systems. Kind of looks cool. It's got a shape reminiscent of like modern architecture. And yet, most users probably never saw it because they didn't open their computer. Okay, will it boot? That is the question. Yeah, I was kind of wondering if that was yeah, I see that it's marked ASSY 85537. Yeah, I think that's exactly how Dell would mark parts. There we go. It sees it as a 350 megahertz. And the RAM test does seem to be going just a bit quicker. Very nice. I like it. And that's good. I've got a 350 megahertz. I mean, too bad the 300 didn't work. But actually, that felt a bit faster. I might have to go play it back to see if it actually was faster, but it felt faster. Yeah. Yes, Ron. A lot of those Mondo OEM machines had the giant heatsink and the big cape fans. Yes. This very much does look like Dell. Okay, well, this CPU appears to be alive. So, yay. So I can at least make this a 350 megahertz. Now, this is the one that would be really nice if it would work. Well, I'm going to have to find some screws to reattach the heatsink because there's only one. Oh, wait a minute. What am I saying? Find screws to hold the heatsink on. I've got a dead one here. Oh, okay, this is too funny. So, so this one here is the 400. It's got one screw holding the heatsink on. Here's that dead 300. It's got 3 screws. I think, oh, table cam. Whatever system they came out of the same type system. So I guess if this 450 works, I just snag these 3 screws to hold the heatsink on. You know, this feels very compact to me. I don't know why. But that just feels like compact. But yeah, this one I think is Dell. That feels like Dell. This one feels like Compaq. And I have no other evidence to back that claim up. Go. Okay, so 400 is going to be on, off, on. On the dip switch settings. Actually, you know, these two that tested as dead, I think I may retest them again because I had trouble seating this one. Yeah, if I pick this one, actually, I'll just order a new heatsink because one with a fan. But anyways. They're actually screwed on. I see Torx heads on the screws. So it could actually be a yeah, if they're latch system, they're tray processors for integrators. Yeah, who knows? This might have just been a integrator, Mon Pa Shop integrator one, which would be appropriate, because that's basically the type of computer shop I worked at. Oh, good. That's a good sign. Torx. That's, yeah, Chris, that's exactly, maybe that's why it feels compact to me, because it uses Torx. Yes. It could still be compact. I mean, it does also feel like compact might do something like that in the rare event you needed to replace your heatsink. Hey, my 400 megahertz one works. Yay. Speed. I don't know, Chris. I think your first sentence also seemed right to me too for some reason. But yeah, Compaq seemed to have a love affair with Torx screws. Yes. My youngest brother, when he went to college, had a Compaq laptop. It was probably quite awful. But yes, I had to fix it for him once, and yeah, not only do I remember having to get the Torx screwdrivers out, but I had to get the Dremel out too. Because one of the screws stripped like something awful. And it was like one of the screws we had to remove to fix it. So I am don't necessarily advocate for the Dremel method of computer repair, but sometimes when it's the option between fixing it and mom and dad have to buy him a new laptop, and it's a stripped screw in the way, well, obviously it was the Dremel option to as the last resort. And I got it out though. I did get the screw out. And I was able to fix it too. So yay. I forget what was wrong exactly. I think the hard drive had died, but that's just how it had like awful cheap screws. It was like a low end Compaq. It was. I think it might have been very well one of the last laptops before Hewlett Packard bought them. Because I seemingly remember it was Compaq branded, but it was, the construction was so cheap. Oh, there we go. Okay, so that's how these clip in. Okay. Okay, I can get this off now. I realized it might be why one of these processors tested as bad. I think it was in the way. But I just realized that my trying to go gentle on it was a bit too gentle. Luckily, I think this is actually like some better plastic. I was treating it as if it was spindler plastic on an old Mac. But I think this is actually a slightly, there we go. It's a slightly better grade of plastic. I think it might actually be the reinforced. Oh, hey, Steve. It's a Pentium II motherboard. I'm testing Pentium 2s. I bought a lot of 5 off eBay, and they were untested, sold as is. And so far, I found that 3 of them work. I'm going to see if maybe the other 2 might have been due to interference of this standoff, which I don't think all Pentium 2 coolers needed it, but whichever one the seller I bought this board from, apparently they had a cooler that needed it. So I just got to get it out of here. So far I've got a 266 megahertz, a 350 megahertz, and a 400 megahertz Pentium 2 that all work. And now I'm going to go back and try this 300 megahertz again. And now that that standoff is off, maybe it'll actually... Okay, that's actually felt better. It might actually be in the slot now. I think that one might have been dead because it wasn't in the slot. If I'd really thought, I would have gone and grabbed a speaker. If I'd really thought, I would have put my bag of extra piezo speakers down here where I could use them when testing computers. No, it would appear as if I did not do that. Okay. Yeah. Adam, when you replaced a compact ProLiant server at a previous job, they let you roll it off the top of the stairs. Sounds like fun. Steve moved an exercise machine down the stairs like an idiot, but he survived. That does not sound like fun. Also, Steve probably got his exercise in for the remainder of the week. Don't know if your doctor will agree with that, but you probably got your exercise for the week. The rest of the week. I do have to ask, moving the exercise machine, was it arm day or leg day? Or both? or the dreaded back day? Yeah, this 300 megahertz is... Yeah. Yes, Steve. Now you don't have to use the machine. Exactly. Okay. This 300 megahertz processor does appear to be dead. It sat in your living room since 2019. Yeah. Leg slash back day. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I've moved stuff in this house that I probably shouldn't have done alone. Yeah, I suspected that leg and back were your... Probably where you're feeling it. After all, I took a lazy boy up to the top floor of my house. Granted, I carried it in the house on the main level. No, I didn't bring it into the basement to carry it up 2 flights of stairs. I'm not sure I really should have done that. even though it was disassembled into 2 parts, and the back of it was actually pretty easy to take up the stairs. It was the base that was a bit more difficult. But now I kind of want it back down on the first floor. And, yeah, it's upstairs. So don't worry, Dad. If you're watching this, I am not taking the Lazy Boy back downstairs by myself. Yeah, taking it upstairs was myself was more than I should have done, and I'm not going to attempt the other way because that would be more dangerous. So, plus maybe I'll just find another Lazy Boy at another yard sale. Which actually, I'd like to kind of do that too, because then I'd have 2 Lazy Boys. Because actually, what I want to do, roll it down the stairs. Yeah, no, my stairs are hardwood. I don't want to have to get them refinished next year. Because actually, I kind of would like a Lazy Boy in my office. So that if I'm editing videos and I want to enjoy the Lazy Boy and probably fall asleep while editing videos, well, at least I'll... Hey, wait a minute. Maybe I just needed some contact cleaner on it. This is the 300 megahertz. All right, maybe it just needed, maybe there was some scunge on the contacts. I know, you can never have enough cozy chairs. Yes, so it was the community yard sale this past year. I sold everything I had down to a point where I decided to set everything else up as the honor system. And yes, I actually did sell something. And they actually put money in my jar. And the money was still there when I got back. But I went around, I drove around to all the other yard sales to see what people still had left. And I got to one of them, and they were moving soon. They still had the Lazy Boy chair. He was like, make me an offer. Come sit down in it and make me an offer. I sat down in it. It felt comfortable. It was in a bit rough shape. So I said, how about 20 bucks? And he said, sold. I'll even help you put it in your car. So it's not the best looking Lazy Boy, but it's still comfortable. And it was probably my yard sale find of the year. So Justin's 2020 yard sale find of the year. Unfortunately, wasn't a vintage computer. It was a Lazy Boy recliner for 20 bucks. Yes. My thrifting find of the year, that might be a little harder to tell because I did get a few more interesting things thrifting. It might actually be, the thrifting find of the year might actually be tied for all the cables I found at the thrift shop that were fairly cheap, because I would dig through and find the ones that were priced lower than other similar cables, because apparently I figured out that they apparently don't have a standard pricing in the back when they price things like that. It's like whatever the person pricing it thinks they can sell it for is what price gets written on the cable. So once I figured that out, I just know that when I go in there every once in a while to dig through the box and not like just grab the first one, because there could be a very identical cheaper one just like right below it. So my thrifting find of the year is probably just all the miscellaneous cables I've found. So, all right, this 300 megahertz Pentium III actually works. It just needed some contact cleaner. Yay, okay. I don't know what I'm going to do with all these Pentium 2s. I said Pentium 3, I meant Pentium 2. Okay, maybe this other one just needs some contact cleaner too. Actually, you know, it might. Actually, interestingly enough, it looks like there's some heatsink compound on the pins. That's just wrong. It would go to show, though, if that's all it needs, these are indestructible. Well, okay. Someone broke the tabs off this 266 megahertz Pentium II. Okay, so let me let that dry for a moment while I change the... You know, I bet if I clocked this at 300 megahertz, it probably wouldn't be the end of the world. This processor might just work. Because that's actually not too far from on, off. Not too far from its correct clock setting. It'd just be a half a multiplier extra. Who knows? Maybe I might. Adam, apply 480 volts and see if it still works. I don't know. I don't think I want to mess with 480 volts. Not that I don't know where I could get 480 volts. I just don't want to mess with it. Okay. And yeah, Justin is going to have a lifetime supply of Pentium 2s. You're right there, Chris. Okay. Well, I think I still got a decent deal. So what did I pay for the lot of 5 Pentium 2s? So I paid $25. That was my offer, plus $17.05 shipping, because they used a flat rate box. So actually that was what it cost them to mail, because I see the box they used. It was a medium flat rate box, and I'm pretty sure that the current rate for that is $17.05. Although I know they got an eBay discount, but well, eBay charged them fees on it too. So whatever. So total of what? 25, 40. So with tax, it was about 45 bucks. So we'll say 45 bucks. That makes the math easy. Okay, one's dead, 4 work. So I guess I paid about 11, somewhere between 11 and 12 bucks a piece for Pentium 2 processors, which I think is about what they're going for. So don't know that I got an incredible deal. Okay, well, this one processor here also seems to have broken clips, but I might be able to fix it. Especially because it's the 400 megahertz one. Well, the one clip's just jammed in. You know, I bet it'll still seat good enough to stay in, so yeah. So I guess 4 Pentium 2 processors ended up paying about 11 bucks a piece. Yeah. Probably would have preferred to get them cheaper, but I guess given what Pentium 2s are going for, if I'd bought one, I would have probably ended up paying 20 bucks by the time I paid for, if I'd made an offer like 11 or 12 bucks for one and then had to pay shipping, I'd probably paid 20 bucks. So, okay, 11 bucks a piece for 4. I guess pretty good deal. Plus, I got a live stream out of it. Hey, here's that. So, don't know what I'll do with all 4. I think the 400 megahertz one is the one I want for this computer. So, yeah, Adam, if you test your 386 and 486, we'll help you. Yeah. Hey, you got Retro Tech Chris and I in the chat. We're up for some PC fun. All right. How about... Okay, well, the heatsink's riveted on this one, so... Since this processor's dead, I was actually just tempted to see if I can't take the case off of it and have some fun with it, but I don't think it's going to open easily with a riveted heatsink. I will probably have to take a Dremel to it. Oh, no, wait a minute. No, the case is coming off. Ah, if I can get this apart, I can use the clips from this one to fix the 400 megahertz one. And then I'll have, it'll have working clips. Because I think the part of the, no, the top of the clip snapped off. Never mind. Maybe that won't work kind of the way I envisioned it. Okay. Yes, 400 megahertz. Not the fastest Pentium II. The fastest was 450. But this lot didn't have a 450 in it. And the 450s do command a slight premium because they were the top tier one. Though, given the durability of Pentium IIs, I would be less hesitant to buy a Pentium II than some other processors on eBay. But maybe that might be something I do next year. Get the 450. So I'll use one of these for what I'm doing now. Anyways, I just kind of thought if I can get this, trying to get this Pentium II open that's dead. I doubt I can fix it because it's probably quite possibly something someone tried to overclock or overvolt or something. I mean, I guess I could find that there's just a blown capacitor on it, but I mean, given how it looks like someone just yanked it out of the slot without unclipping it, tells me that possibly either the salvager that pulled it out just didn't care, or however this processor died, the user knew that it was not salvageable. Just, let me see. Is there like a... Hold on. I've got the case mostly off. I'm just trying to find the hidden... There's like a hidden clip or screw or something. Although, quite honestly, if I break... Oh, here we go. I think there's just a tab or two that I can't see. If I break plastic, I mean, this processor's dead. Oh, no. I just broke my spudger. Well, I'm going to have to order some more reinforced spudgers. Hopefully I can remember where someone suggested ordering them from instead of iFixit, because... Oh, it was Jeremy. I think Jeremy mentioned it. Here we go. All right, I'm breaking plastic. I'm going for it, because this processor's dead. Yeah, okay. The reason I can't get it apart easily is because I'd have to get the rivets off the heatsink. All right. Yep. I just decided to... Oh yeah, this thing is held together. Oh. Here we go. I might actually be able to get the board out now. Okay. So at least on this side of the board, I don't see any obvious damage. But this is not the side of the board with the processor. So the Pentium II... Yeah, now I have to pay 15 cents for a new one. Yeah, exactly. So the Pentium II had its cache off processor. But the reason why it's on this, I guess, slot 1 is because Intel wanted the cache as close to the processor die as possible. So therefore, well, that's why slot 1 was invented, or at least so they say. I think this is probably a cache controller or something. There's 2 cache chips here, and then I can see there's 2 on the other side of the board along with the actual processor. The other reason Intel did this was it was expensive to put cache on the die. Plus, of course, then that's more die space. It reduces the yield, because now you might have processors with defective die. So to keep the die of the processor small, that the cache is off board, but close. So it's faster than if it was on the motherboard. So I guess the Pentium III did the same thing. I guess the earlier Pentium IIIs. Then I guess Intel went to the socketed Pentium IIIs. But I think by then, I guess it was getting cheap enough to actually put the cache on the processor. Well, I just knocked a capacitor off this board, but then again, it's dead. So this processor wasn't really worth fixing anyways. I was just curious to see. I was just more curious to see if maybe it was there was physical signs of damage, and just maybe to show everyone what a Pentium III looked like. So just kind of the geek factor. Oh! Adam's wife walks in and asks, what's this huge space? It's because he had some boxed printers that are no longer sitting there. Yeah. Well, and there's the what the other side looks like. So there's the other 2 cache chips. So this had 512K cache, so I guess each of these are going to be 128K cache chips. And some chip cache controller, and then there's the Pentium II. So that's the actual Pentium II processor with MMX technologies. I guess I know folks are probably saying, well, clean that thermal paste off. I'd like to see, is there anything etched on it? And I don't blame you, because I mean, I think I've seen these disassembled on the internet before, but it's been a while. I don't remember if Intel etched anything on those or not. I mean, they probably did. Oh, yeah, they did, but it's kind of boring. Anyway, so there's the... yeah, it's just, I guess, probably the serial number of the processor. Possibly an internal part number, or a serial number, or a lot number. Anyways, it does look like, though, if I'm looking at this right, it does look like there might be a small... I don't know if that's the backside of the die, given that it's not square. I think that might be a... I think the die might be under this. This might be a lid. Anyways, so there. That is what a Pentium II processor looks like on the inside. Now, if this was a Celeron from the same era, I believe you would the front side would look the same, but it wouldn't have the cache chips on the back. So anyways, so now you could say you have seen a Pentium II processor on the inside. Oh, and actually, I think I see the actual failure mode of this processor. Huh. Pins are corroded. I couldn't see that with the couldn't see that with it in the case. Unfortunately, I pretty much broken this thing to probably no. Oh, actually, that's actually not coming off of it. Actually, I think I'm going to go out on a limb and say that this processor probably is really dead. I'm wondering if I looked at the pinout, because I just tried cleaning it off, thinking it might be corrosion. I'm wondering if this processor, maybe it was in a system and the voltage regulator failed or something. I'm wondering if that might be one of the power pins and it took a high voltage or a high current or something. Because, yeah, I think that's why this one's dead. I think I'm going to stand by the I wouldn't be able to fix it, because I think that's... I think this processor took some sort of a voltage-related damage. That's my best guess. I don't know if I can find a pin out of the slot, but that's my guess. This one took voltage. I don't know if someone someone tried Adam's 480 volt suggestion, because that honestly looks like, I mean, it looks, either someone got something on this and it is corroded, because you could actually see it where there's actually, it looks like three pins are affected, which kind of leads maybe, which is why I kind of wondered if it's voltage related. Because this pad here, it looks fine to the eye, but for some reason on camera, it's not as shiny. But then this pad here, and then this next pad over, this black spot extends into it. I think this took a short or something. Anyways, yeah, there you go. So that's what a Pentium III looks like. And that's probably why it's dead. And it's, unfortunately, I knocked a couple capacitors off getting it apart. So I'm not going to try putting it in the motherboard. But anyways, that's the that's what a Pentium II looks like. Now let me set this aside, because I have way too many things on my bench at this point. So yay! If you learned something today, hit that like button. I learned that I took the trash out and forgot to bring another trash bag down here. I might see if I can't reuse that some other way. Maybe it's just as well I didn't bring a trash bag down here. Okay, so now we've got processors. I've got the one I'd like to use. So let me set this back up for the 400 megahertz one. So 400 megahertz is, we find the jumper chart again, is going to be on, off, on, off, on. Actually, it's already correct. Got a sticker RAM in it. And now, oh, let me zoom out so you can zoom out the other way so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to take the 8-bit VGA card out, because, I mean, that's probably acting as a pretty good bottleneck on this system. Let's go to show, though, it works. But let me try this number 9 Ticket to Ride. I'm pretty sure Ticket to Ride's the model of this card. They gave their cards interesting names. Let me see here. I'll just, this slot looks good. Put my hand under it to brace it. I do not know if this card works. I don't remember how much RAM is on this card. I don't know if the S3 Vision 964 is a good chip. I think this is the... I don't think I've tried this card before. Anyways, there we go. Let's see what we get. I think I turned it on. Well... Huh. Okay. Well, let me make sure things are seated. Okay. Pentium processor seated. Video card seated. Oh, there we go. That was interesting. Uh-oh. That's not right. Okay. Memory test stopped. I might have bumped the card. Okay. There we go. Okay. I think I bumped the video card. And PCI cards don't like it when you start to extract them from the slot. May have to, let's see, BIOS features. Oh, no, let me see here. Chipset features. Set the CAS to 2. We'll go ahead and set the RAM to ECC. I think that all looks good. Even edit exit setup. Well, I'm a bit bummed the video card doesn't have a splash screen, so I'll have to look up. I have to probably look up its specs. At least that's good. It seems like it works. At least this far. I would like to maybe get a bit further. All right, let me see what I got. I think I'm gonna see if I have a 2032 upstairs. All right, I'm gonna go upstairs. I'm gonna go see if I have anything I can put in this to boot it. I mean, worst case, I'll grab the compact flash card out of my 386, and then at least we can boot it to DOS. Of course, if we do that, maybe I should put the sound card in and connect the SB Link cable to it. Although I may still have to install drivers. Let me check. Did the drivers... I have drivers in these boxes. Is it a CD or a DVD? Ah, it says it is an installation CD-ROM, and it's a pressed CD. All right, let me go upstairs, grab a few things, including the CD-ROM drive Chris sent me, because I may need to install drivers in DOS. And let's see what we can, what I can get into in the next 15 to 30 minutes. So I'll be right back. Okay, I just went upstairs, got the CD-ROM drive, some discs, cables, and whatnot, and the compact flash card from my 386, and then realized I don't have any CD-ROM drivers on a medium. I don't have CD-ROM drivers installed on this compact flash card, even though at some point they're going to get it. And I don't have any on a Go. Actually, I'm not sure where my GoTech is. Anyways, I guess we'll at least see if this boots DOS. Well, we might see if this boots DOS. That is, if this power supply... Aw, come on. Okay, maybe we're not, because this power supply has no ERG power connector on it. ARG. Okay, we're not. Because the adapter is in my TRS-80. And I'm not disassembling that tonight. I mean, I'm having a trouble with the last upgrade I did to it, so I may have to take it apart, but I'm not taking it apart tonight. So I can't plug the compact flash into power. That's disappointing. Let's see, the GoTech I bought off eBay has a blown transistor, so that's not going to help me. Well, I can't use the GoTech that's in my oscilloscope because it's got the wrong connector on it. Yeah, okay, I guess I'm not going to be booting this tonight. Well, I guess these are all things I need to know for when I go order parts to put this computer together. Well, I was going to use a mechanical hard drive that I've got, but that would take way more to remove from the 386 than just pulling this adapter. So I guess I can go put this back in the 386. And so if anyone's wondering, my 386, this is what I use in it. So on my 386, I have a network card. I'm running into a problem, Adam. I don't have a boot CD-ROM that's pressed. I don't have this power supply doesn't have the connector to plug power into this. And I don't want to spend the 20 minutes to get the hard drive out of my 386 that's there for safekeeping, because I have to I think I have to remove the faceplate to then remove the bracket the hard drive's on. I am thankful for cases that don't make you have to like disassemble lots of things to get the hard drive out. So unless I find something else, I mean, I knew this stream would come to a point where I was going to run out of things, because honestly, I wasn't even sure these Pentium IIs was going to arrive today, because they were seemingly still in Richmond like all morning, to which I thought, surely if they've been in Richmond all morning, there is no way they're going to make it to the post office to go out for delivery. And somehow they made it to the post office for delivery. I guess maybe they just have that many packages that they were running that late to actually get things out for delivery. So I actually wasn't even sure I would have these for the stream, which is why it was so late that for me even scheduling the stream in the first place. I was not sure what I would have to stream about. Yeah, Adam, I had a Molex to Berg adapter until I put it in something, and I forgot to order another one. I have a few adapters I need to order from Amazon, and that is one of them, to replace the Molex to Berg adapter that I put in my TRS-80 because I did an upgrade to it that I haven't released the video on yet. And I don't want to disassemble that to pull the adapter out. Although something's up with the upgrade I did, so I may have to pull it out anyways, but not tonight. Yeah, well, I guess I thought the other power supply I was trying to use actually did have a Berg power connector on it, but it didn't have I couldn't separate the connector, so it interfered with the motherboard. But yeah, sure enough, I see the Berg power connector on it, clear as day. I mean, I guess I could. Well, I don't really want to break my ATX power adapter or ATX extension cable. Maybe what I'll do when I order adapters, I think I'm gonna see if I can find one that you can actually separate it on the one end. And I'll get some Bergdable Lexus. No. Okay. Anyway, it's 11:30 here, and I'm actually getting tired. So, oh, I need to buy a Gotek and then figure out how to make it act as a 5¼ inch drive. I believe all you need to do that is put 5¼ inch disk images on it. I think it'll then just do that automatically. I have put one in place of a 5¼ inch drive, and I don't think I had to do anything special other than use a 5¼ inch disk image, and it'll respond appropriately. I don't think you have to do anything special. Other than you probably will need, you'll need, if you're putting it in place of a 5¼ inch drive, you will probably need, you'll either need a floppy cable that has two 34-pin connectors on it, or you'll need one of the adapter that I am, as soon as I find it in my saved eBay auctions, I'm going to copy it in the chat. I mean, you could probably find another similar one, but there's an eBay seller that sells the card edge to 34-pin adapters. You could probably find cheaper ones, but I guess I'll copy this auction because I've bought them from them before and they work. In fact, that is how I have 2 Goteks installed in my TRS-80 right now, is I have used 2 Goteks and 2 of these adapters. And 1 Molex to dual Berg power adapter. And of course, apparently the way I have eBay auctions sorted on this computer, it would be one of the last auctions in the list, of course. Let's see, share. Let me copy the link. Yeah, they do. Here's the auction listing for one example. It's not an affiliate link, so it's not like I'll get a kickback or anything from it. But there's at least an example. If anyone's curious, use that to start your searches. I know they're $12 if you buy one. They're made in the U.S. though. I think this person actually solders them together themselves. I think there are cheaper ones on eBay. I will admit, when I ordered it, I was ordering it because they were in Georgia, and I was ordering them for last DOScember when I realized, oops, I need an adapter. I can't wait for one from a slow shipping location. So, admittedly, these may be one of the more expensive ones on eBay, but I think the person that's selling them actually makes them, and they're in Georgia, so at least for me, I think I got them in 2 days. So sometimes when you realize for a video, oops, I forgot to order parts, you have to find a close shipper, not a cheap seller. And Georgia usually is about 2 days. So yes, if anyone's wondering, I needed one of those adapters to connect a GoTech to my Emerson 8000 EC because it came shipped with two 5 1/4 inch floppy drives. So its floppy connector is Edge connector, and I didn't have a spare floppy cable at the time. I do know. That is one thing. If you're going to get into retro computing, I would definitely recommend to try to get a couple extra floppy and IDE cables. They will come in handy. In fact, if you have an IDE extension cable, you can mod your Molar Mac apparently to have external a PCI video card show up on the internal monitor. You can also do other things that are less Mac-like that I'm not going to say any more about. If you really want to know what that is, just go watch Action Retro's last video. It might be tangentially related to DOScember, although I think it was a new enough version of that particular operating system that it doesn't run DOS. But anyways, which is why I said tangentially. Well, that's Budger's to my list of things to order too. Yeah, all right, Adam. Glad I could help you with that. So at least that'll get you one. So anyways, I'll get some Berg to Molex adapters. I just gotta put that on my list of things to order. So I guess now that I've kind of got to the point where I have done everything I can for tonight, I guess I figured out that 4 of the 5 Pentium IIs I bought off eBay work. Yay! I disassembled the one that didn't work to show you all what's inside a Pentium II. Yay! Found out that my PCI video card that I bought a couple years ago actually works. Yay! Or at least it works on DOS. I guess I'll have to find Windows drivers for it. But at least I think the number 9 drivers are out there. And I'm going to have to find some more VRAM for it, because that is one thing I got to do since the RAM's cheaper now. Upgrade it. The motherboard works. Yay. Because I didn't have any Pentium IIs to test it with. I can go up to a gig of RAM. And this board supports ECC RAM, which is actually a bonus. And I have ECC RAM here. Yay. I guess for Windows 98, I'll have to limit it to like 256 megs. But I have a gig if I use a newer operating system. So, and I guess it looks like, at least for now, the caps seem to be in good order. I don't see any signs that they're leaking. It actually does look like they use decent caps. So, and I guess being a 1998 motherboard, give or take, I think maybe it just managed to miss the capacitor plague of the early 2000s. So I guess next time this computer, yeah, I really think I would like to install XP on it, Adam, for longer term use. But for one of the things I want to try, for the Sound Blaster Link, I will have to put 98 on it. For granted, this is not, I mean, I may leave the sound card in it, because this is actually a decent sound card, and it should work with, like, I think it'll work with XP. In fact, I think XP drivers may be on the disk. So, but I would like, I just want to try for DOScember this Sound Blaster Link. Because, I mean, it may be, one reason why it might not have lasted as long as it did is because maybe it didn't work that well. Okay, looks like these drivers on this disk go up to 2000, but I want to say XP does support this card. I don't think it's supported in Windows 7, but I think XP might support this sound card. So, anyways, yeah, I think this motherboard looks like it will at least help me answer the question I've always had about Sound Blaster Link of did it actually do what it claimed to do, or Was it just a way some manufacturers sold you their version because, hey, it might work? We'll find out later. And actually, I'm quite happy that the 400 megahertz Pentium II worked. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to have the 450 megahertz, but I'll save my pennies up and get one. It's not like they're rare on eBay. They show up. I think there's actually multiple ones of them on eBay now, so it's not like it's a rare processor and I got to buy it now. So, but yeah, 400 megahertz, that'll be plenty quick enough. Oh, yeah, that's right, Adam. Lots of 2000 drivers will work in XP. So, yeah, it should work in XP. So, that'll be cool. I guess upcoming, maybe not for DOScember, I'll be trying to get that GoTech to work. I'll have to order parts. For DOScember, though, upcoming, the reason why I wanted to give this a try is because I need to order parts from Mouser. I guess I'm not powering anything up that I don't know that it actually works. I can take my safety glasses off because they cause glare. So I don't need to order any parts from Mouser for this motherboard. Everything looks like it's in good shape. So I'm not gonna worry about recapping it. I will try to figure out what kind of transistor that is in that GoTech and what the value of the capacitor that's missing is, so I can order some of those. I need to order the components for the 386SX board. I'm hoping to do that this weekend, which should mean those will come in time for next Thursday. So hopefully next Thursday, I'll have what I need to try to work on the 386 board. I mean, the 386SX, yeah, I know it's not really that awesome of a board, but hey, it's the fastest 386SX that was made. I also, in terms of scripted videos, I am trying to work on the next episode of Channel Surprise, where because I have received a couple things, and I definitely appreciate the gifts I've received, including this CD-ROM drive from RetroTech Chris. So Chris, if you're still there, I do have it. It's now unboxed because I was waiting until I actually set up to unbox things to unbox it. So this is another video I'm really going to try to get out. I'm not going to, well, actually I might have already spoiled which computer it's for. But anyways, some of the things I bought with my coffee tips from last week, because I needed a couple games that were on pressed discs, and I got a few that I thought were classics, and not all of them have arrived, but I got Dragon's Lair. It'll run on a 386. Wing Commander II Deluxe Edition. This was thanks to a suggestion from Trina. She sent me a list of, she found a forum post of people suggesting good games to run on a 386. So thanks to Trina's suggestion, I got Wing Commander II Deluxe Edition. So we'll give that a try. And this one might have also been in that list, or maybe it was in another list I found because it had good voice acting in the CD-ROM edition. But I decided to get Space Quest 4, Roger Wilco, and the Time Rippers, because apparently the CD-ROM version of this game had good voice narration. Actually, the really cool thing is this one, I don't really care about having the boxes, but I did kind of like the fact that this was actually a complete jewel case. So got, of course, the CD, the instructions, and the jewel case. So I thought that was pretty cool. Although, I mean, it is the soft key platinum release, but hey, I mean, I do appreciate having the complete jewel case. I don't need the big box. Those take a lot of room. I'm totally fine with just having the CD as well. Yeah, Ron, send me a link to your stream and I will be there. We can talk DOS games. In fact, hopefully by Saturday, I might have actually had a chance to try some of these. I gotta get videos out of the pipeline. Anyways, so I got that optical drive. That's one upgrade I want to do. I know a lot of my videos are probably actually going to be near the end of this month because I've got time off to actually edit videos. So, and then I also Another video I'm working on, I actually have the script written. I just need to, I guess, shoot the talking head part of it, is the next installment of the Emerson 8000 EC video series. I know I left you all hanging, I guess, in January with the video where I got explained how I got the XT IDE working, and I think in that video I hinted that I had some upgrades in mind, and I actually tried to do the upgrades around that time. It was probably in February, and in fact had trouble with them. I had to send the computer to Joe, and in fact on one of my live streams, Joe was working on that computer while I was working on other things. But I have not forgotten about that. I am, now that I'm over the frustration of how that upgrade went, which the fact that I just told you that I had to send the computer to Joe should probably give you the hint that, yeah, you probably can see I was kind of done with that earlier this year. But I am going to do that video, especially once I saw that I had the script. I've got the upgrade footage. I did my research, so I am going to get that out. I do want to do that video. I at least owe you all the installment, even if it didn't go well. I owe you all that installment. Even if you only watch it for me to make fun of the cover of Compute Magazine, where I found some of my information. And all I'm going to say is I'm hoping that one of my neighbors has a blowtorch of a particular color so that I can borrow it. All I'm going to say. I'm going to interject a little humor. But anyways, that is a video I want to work on. If I can't find a blowtorch to borrow, I'm not going to worry about it. That's not going to stop me. So yeah, Emerson 8000 EC, CD-ROM drive with DOS games in a mystery 386, which you could probably take a guess on what it might actually be. If you're one of my channel supporters, I might have actually posted it on Patreon. Which one? And coffee. If I haven't, I probably will spill the beans on that one for you all. And let's see, are there any other? Oh, yes. And I have if that's not enough, because I am a glutton for punishment and I apparently want to try to drive myself insane trying to edit way more videos this month than I have in the past month or two. I have a special bonus item that I bought with my coffee tips. Partially because RetroTech Chris sent me something really cool. I bought something that goes along with it. I bought 2 more things this morning that go along with it. Hopefully those will come in before the end of the year. So I have an extra bonus video. I think it will be cool. I will spill the beans for my channel supporters early because it's rather interesting. I don't know if it works. Actually, you'll get a hint. Actually, when Channel Surprise comes out, everyone will know. So yeah, that's probably a good thing. I should probably let my channel supporters know early. But I think it's pretty cool. And so that's my stretch goal. I will admit, though, that one might be a little bit late. So one may be early January. But it's cool enough. I want to get that one out, even if it misses DOScember by a little bit, because it is a cool thing RetroTech Chris sent me, and I want to try it out. And it doesn't go with the 386. These do. Actually, these would probably work with it. That's all I'm going to say. Let me see. Any other announcements I wanted to make? Yeah. Oh yeah, and I guess a little longer term, I've got another short or two that I want to make with and I'm pointing over here because it's sitting over there, the LC475. I'm probably going to do another short or two on it. One of my coworkers said, Justin, I liked your last video, and I had to figure out which one he was talking about because I kind of kind of suspected he wasn't talking about my live stream last week. He was like, about that computer where you've got the old component, the bad component, you found the new component, you fixed it, and it booted. And I was like, you liked my short. He's like, yeah, that's about my attention span. I was, so I got feedback from my coworkers. He liked the short. And actually, I uploaded the short to Instagram, and I think it's doing better on Instagram than it is on YouTube. Beats me where Instagram hides the statistics, but it didn't do too bad on YouTube for the fact that I've only uploaded 2 shorts. But I've got another couple things I want to do. The LC475. I'll do a full video come Marcintosh, but I've got a couple things that I want to get a couple shorts out. I just want to see how well these shorts are doing. So the LC475 is going to be the computer I'm using as kind of my test platform for shorts. That being said, I have set aside the RAM that I found in that bin tonight that I think might actually work in the LC475 to at least right now it's got an 8 megabyte SIM. I think I at least have a 16 megabyte SIM that'll probably work in it. So, well, plus 8 megabytes, yay. I also bought another upgrade for it that I ordered from China. Actually, it was a seller that has been recommended in the retro community for that particular item. So I think I will do both of those as shorts, and we'll see how they go. Luckily, being a 1-minute short, that short only took me like 3 hours to edit the video instead of I don't even want to. I'm not even going to try to tally how long the last video I did took me to edit because it was way too long. We'll just say that another video that I've kind of have on pause until probably January because of DOScember. Although technically that computer does run DOS, but it's not MS-DOS. I'm going to try a new format for it, for that video, to see if maybe it helps my video editing. I guess the video, the Channel Surprise episode will kind of follow that format. I'm not going to, there's not going to be many funny gags in it because that was part of the reason why my last video took so long to edit. I may have a little humor in it though. But yeah, I got a new format that's not shorts. Shorts being the horizontal or portrait mode abomination that YouTube makes you follow for it to be labeled as a short. But I guess a shorter video that's maybe still meets what I would consider a high quality, which is why it took me 3 hours to edit that 1-minute short, is because I still wanted to keep my high quality standards, but hopefully will let me still keep a high quality scripted video, but won't pressure me to have all the added things that both make the video longer and make it longer to edit. So now the Emerson 8000 EC script, now that video is probably going to be long. I'll just warn you. I did my research, and that one's probably going to be like a 30 or 40-minute video. In fact, I might break it into 2 videos. It's going to be so long, but the only logical point to break it into 2 videos gives me like probably a 5 to 8 minute video and a 30-minute video. Maybe 20 minutes. I mean, it might be 20 minutes, but I'm like, that's not the division I want. Unfortunately, given what I did to that computer, I can't like just split it in half. But unless I can think of something creative. But anyways, yep. Videos coming for DOScember, stuff for Marcintosh, shorts to tease it before then. Oh yeah, I guess the one last thing. So if you're wondering about the new studio setup, actually the channel surprise that I am working on, I actually shot it upstairs. So the lighting's not perfect. I just threw some stuff on the shelves so they didn't look empty. Adam like splitting computers in half. Excellent. But yeah, I actually shot it upstairs, so we'll see. The footage is probably good. Lighting may not be perfect. I threw stuff on the shelves so they didn't look empty. I didn't have an overhead view for the unboxing. I am at least going to do a B-roll of a close-up of the items since I didn't have an overhead cam, so at least they're a little visible. But at least I was using the Rode mic, so I think audio should be good, even if the lighting's a bit weird. Unfortunately, lighting might still be weird because I guess the last thing is I somehow managed to knock over one of my studio lights, and it was plugged in, and the plug sticks out from the back, and it hit flat on the back, and the power plug is now the plastic broke around the power plug. It's now like floating inside. I'm going to probably on Dave's stream on Sunday, I will be disassembling that light to see if there's anything I can do to fix it. Note to self, buy epoxy or JB Weld at the hardware store. It's probably going to look less than professional on the back. I think I can fix it. Yeah, Adam's saying, oh, and Jeremy's saying the multiple part videos don't tend to do well. Oh, okay. Adam's saying don't call it part 1 and they'll have no choice. Better than posting a 3-hour video that they'll never watch because it's 3 hours. Yeah, if I do break it apart, I wasn't going to call it part 1 and part 2. I was going to call it, I was going to divide it by, because I actually did 2 upgrades. And I was going to make one video on the one upgrade and one would be on the other upgrade. It wouldn't be a part 1 and a part 2. Yeah, I've kind of figured out that the part 1, part 2, the moment you apply that, I don't think it does as well. So yeah, I probably, and probably the only thing I'll use part 1 and part 2 for, which luckily I didn't have to do it tonight, is if it's a live stream and my internet cuts out in the middle and I have to restart a whole new stream because I don't get reconnected in time. That might be what I'd call part 1 and part 2 out of the sheer fact that my creativity will probably be sapped to try to come up with a new stream title for the second half. But then again, it's a live stream. They're either going to watch it or not. Yeah, I wish I could do shorter streams. Maybe someday I'll do shorter streams. Probably more what I'd like to do, though, for some of these is actually do the stream, and I actually record the video. And depending on what it is, I'll actually record it with the camcorder, too. Yes, I actually have a camcorder. So, Doc, if you're still out there, I have an actual camcorder up here. So it had the extra import tax because it's a camcorder. And yeah, it doesn't stop recording after 30 minutes. It will go until your SD card fills up, and then it'll stop. Unfortunately, though, camcorders don't have the greatest of lenses. Yeah, we'll give whoever suggested use my iPhone for shooting videos that. I think my phone has a better lens than this camcorder, but for the overhead view, it's kind of hard to tell. But depending on what I'm doing, I'll record it on the camcorder and then create like short videos based on parts of the live streams. That's something I want to try to do. Or at least it'll give me a better view for inserting into if I do a scripted video talking about an upgrade that I did during a live stream. But yeah, I usually record these, at least let OBS record it. And I save off the files. May never use it again, but at least I have the video in case I need a segment for a video. Yeah, well, okay, my, oh, was about to say my microscope cam doesn't have a SD card, but actually it does have a micro SD card, but that's because my microscope cam is a Raspberry Pi, and that's actually its boot device, so I can't save pictures to it. Long story short on that, the microscope that you never see me pull out because this overhead frame's in the way, that I should be able to move soon because I've got the new rig up. I just need to swap the camcorder to the mount on the new rig, and then I can have this overhead stand for upstairs. But so I bought this stereo microscope that I can't really pull out because my overhead rig's in the way. It's not an AmScope like everyone else buys. I bought a cheaper brand. I tried the cheaper brand's own camera, and it does not. Yeah, I'll be on Dave's stream Sunday. I should be. But yeah, so apparently the scope I bought isn't a, they call, it's not parfocal. I wish I'd known this before I bought microscopes, because then I'd probably just bought the AmScope that was parfocal. But what I really should have bought is a parfocal stereo microscope, because those are the ones where the third, because the stereo microscope has the two lenses for your eyes, but you've seen them where you've got the third port for a camera. Well, if you don't have a parfocal stereo microscope, the focus of that third port is not the same as the two stereo eyepieces. So therefore, it's next to impossible to focus the camera at the same time as the eyepieces. And well, so I bought the manufacturer's own camera because I bought an AmScope camera and I couldn't get it to work with this, but I'm not surprised because it's not an AmScope microscope. I bought their own camera and I couldn't get it to work with it either. But I actually bought a adapter from AmScope that you can actually focus the camera adapter, because it's designed for a different type of camera. I think it's actually designed for a security camera type camera to plug in. And I guess those you need to usually fine tune the focus. So I bought one of those adapters. And then I actually have the Raspberry Pi HD camera on that adapter, and using a Raspberry Pi with the one of the Pi camera softwares, and it's plugged into my PC as a USB camera. You got the same microscope that I recommend. Oh, are you talking about this one? Did you get one of these? Oh, unfortunately, the cord's not long enough. Hold on. Is this the one you got, Jeremy? One of these? Because I don't think I've recommended the other microscope on my... I think this is the only one I recommend. I will go through your streams and check it out, because if you're having picture quality issues, then that probably means their quality has gone down since I bought mine, and I will rescind my recommendation. It is quite possible they've changed their design and it no longer is good. I usually don't have trouble with, I mean, well, it's pluggable. Usually I haven't had trouble. But yeah, I will check your streams out. If their quality's gone downhill, then I will remove my affiliate link for that microscope from the video description. In fact, actually, let me do this right now. So actually, I will go ahead and on this video, just go ahead and remove that link right now. And then I will check your videos out, Jeremy. And if it looks like their quality has gone downhill, then I will remove that link from the rest of the videos. If I see anything that you might try first, then I'll let you know. It's possible, but yeah, I kind of wonder if maybe their quality did go downhill. Because but I mean, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Just do I even have a link for it here? Consumables just for. Oh, okay. Maybe I don't. Maybe I don't have a link in my current list of links. Maybe because I couldn't find it on Amazon when I checked last time. Okay. Well, all right. So I guess at least the moral of that is don't buy the pluggable microscope that might be linked in some of my videos until I can have a chance to check things out, because it looks like their quality may have gone downhill. Doesn't look like I've got the link on this video, but it's possible I've linked it on older videos. So at the moment, I'm changing my recommendation from buy it to hold please. And I will definitely check that out, Jeremy, because if their quality's gone downhill, then I will stop recommending it, and I will have to look into finding an alternate recommendation. Also, my stereo microscope that I bought, I actually don't recommend it, so I don't think I've linked it anywhere. So, oh, Doc, yes. You are still there. Yay. I forget what the comment was that I made. Yeah, anyways, all right, let me see here. I am going to attempt to change something here because I'm about to end the stream, and I'm trying to remember what OBS calls the mode where you get to preview what goes live before it actually goes live, because I need to fix something, and I would like to fix it without it going live, because that would just be awkward. Oh, yeah. Yes, it would be dinner time in your neck of the woods. Would have been dinner time. Okay, I can't find what I'm looking for. Maybe that was a feature of the product that I'm not going to mention because I can't recommend it. It was a product formerly known with OBS in their name, and turns out, surprise, surprise, it wasn't really OBS. They were lying. They were using the OBS name to make money off of people that thought it was also OBS with more features. They've changed their name. Just use OBS Studio. It can do about everything you want it to do, and it's actually the real thing. Okay, I can't find the feature, so studio mode. Yes, studio mode. I know studio mode. All right. Studio mode, studio mode. Oh, there it is, studio mode. All right. So now I should be able to make the change I need to make here. Yes. All right. And now, at least, even though I managed to start the live stream with the wrong animation, I am at least going to end this live stream, hopefully. After all, the stream has been brought to us by technical difficulties, everything from the OBS couldn't go live the first time, Comcast's speed's going to at some point, to me forgetting to change settings in OBS. So this may not work. For all I know, I'm going to click the button and the stream's just going to like explode, or YouTube's going to do something funny. I don't know. So this may not work. Hopefully it will. Hopefully I've fixed my mistake. The correct ending animation will play. So I do, again, for all the channel supporters that should have been named at the beginning, I apologize. The stream was brought to us by technical difficulties, but at least if this actually works, I have fixed it. And then once I am offline, I will fix it in the correct place in OBS so that next week I don't get fooled by this. So with that, I'd like to wish everyone a great evening. Thank you for joining me. Glad we could see that I have 4 working Pentium IIs to have fun with in the future. Thanks for sticking around. Have a great evening. Great rest of your day. Hope to see you next time, and take care. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care.